Before you decide it is over forever, understand this. Sometimes her silence is not the end. Sometimes her silence is the part where she is trying to figure out what losing you actually feels like. And that is why this moment is dangerous for you. Because when a man is hurting, he does not see silence clearly. He sees silence through fear. He sees one quiet day and calls it rejection. He sees one cold reply and calls it replacement. He sees one post, one smile, one story, one sign of her living her life, and suddenly his mind builds an entire movie where she is completely over him, never thinking about him, never remembering him, never coming back. Then panic starts speaking docs to her, ask her, explain again, apologize again, says one last message, do something before it is too late. But listen carefully. The moment you think it is over is often the moment your self respect is tested the hardest. Because if you act from panic, you can destroy the very respect you are trying to recover. If you chase because you are afraid she is gone, you show her that your emotional center still belongs to her. If you beg because the silence hurts, you teach her that distance gives her power. If you keep checking her life, you stay trapped in a connection she is not actively choosing. And that is where most men lose, not because she left, not because she went quiet, not because she acted cold. Most men lose because they let her silence turn them into someone they cannot respect. They become needy, they become reactive, they become emotional, they become desperate for any sign. They start treating her attention like oxygen. They stop sleeping properly, they stop training, they stop working with focus, they stop leading their own life. And then they call that love, but love without self respect becomes self abandonment. That is the truth. So before you think it is over, slow down. Her silence may mean many things. It may mean she is done. It may mean she is hurt. It may mean she is confused. It may mean she is testing life without you. It may mean she is protecting her ego. It may mean she is waiting for you to break first. It may mean she is distracting herself because facing the truth feels too heavy. It may mean she misses you but does not know how to come back without admitting she was wrong. But none of that changes your job. Your job is not to decode every hidden movement in her mind. Your job is to become a man who does not collapse while time reveals the truth. Because a man does not regain respect by chasing. He regains power by staying calm. He regains power by stepping back. He regains power by controlling his emotions when everything inside him wants to react. He regains power by rebuilding his life and letting his actions speak louder than his fear. The goal is not to manipulate her into returning. The goal is not to make her jealous. The goal is not to punish her with silence. The goal is not to sit there waiting for the day she finally realizes your value. The goal is to become a man who no longer loses himself when someone walks away. That is the real comeback, not hers, yours. Because even if she is secretly planning her comeback, even if she is thinking about you, even if she is watching from a distance, even if she is feeling the weight of your absence, it will mean nothing if you are still the same man who panics the moment she returns. Many men survive her absence, they do not survive her attention. She goes silent, and they finally start rebuilding. They stop texting, they stop begging, they start training again. They get a little stronger, they get a little calmer, they begin to sleep again. Then she sends one small message. Hey, how have you been? I was thinking about you. Do you hate me now? Can we talk? And suddenly the old version wakes up. He replies instantly. He writes too much. He asks if she misses him. He tries to force clarity. He opens his whole heart because one message gave him hope. He forgets every standard. He forgets every lesson. He forgets how much pain the old pattern caused him. And she feels it. She feels he did not really grow. He was just waiting. Do not be that man. Before you think about whether she is coming back, ask yourself if you are becoming strong enough to handle her return. Because a woman returning is not always the victory. Sometimes it is the test. Will you collapse? Will you chase again? Will you accept vague energy? Will you become her emotional backup? Will you rush trust because you missed her? Will you ignore the pattern because the moment feels good? Will you let one soft message erase months of pain? That is the real question. Now, let us talk about what may be happening when she seems quiet. Sometimes a woman pulls away and expects you to chase. Maybe she does not say it directly, but she expects the old version of you to appear. She expects you to send the message. She expects you to ask what happened. She expects you to prove your feelings. She expects you to become emotional. She expects you to keep the connection alive while she stays distant. And if you do that, You confirm the old dynamic. She becomes distant. You become desperate. She gives less. You give more. She becomes unclear. You start explaining. She pulls back. You chase forward. That pattern destroys respect because when a woman realizes that her distance makes you work harder, your attention starts feeling automatic. And anything automatic loses value. Your time has value. Your attention has value. Your peace has value. Your emotional energy has value. Your loyalty has value. Do not hand those things to someone who is giving you confusion. This does not mean you hate her. This does not mean you punish her. This does not mean you act cold. It means you stop rewarding distance with desperation. If she wants space, give space. If she wants silence, let silence exist. If she chooses distance, stop running behind her, trying to close the gap alone. If she treated you like an option, stop giving her priority access. Let reality speak. Because your paragraphs did not teach her, your over explaining did not teach her, your begging did not teach her, your constant availability did not teach her. Sometimes reality teaches what words cannot. But you must stop interrupting reality with panic. Every time you chase after she pulls away, you interrupt reality. Every time you send one more message after she ignored you, you interrupt reality. Every time you check her stories and react emotionally, you interrupt your own healing. Every time you accept crumbs because crumbs feel better than nothing, you train yourself to live below your standard. That has to stop. Not because you want revenge, because you want peace. Now, sometimes she is not planning a comeback in the way your ego imagines. She may not be sitting there with a full plan. She may not be writing a speech. She may not be ready to admit anything. But she may be circling emotionally. She may be remembering. She may be comparing. She may be testing life without you. She may be watching whether you break. She may be realizing your absence feels different than she expected. She may be learning that new attention is not the same as real connection. She may be discovering that freedom without your presence does not feel as peaceful as she thought, but do not become addicted to imagining that, because if your whole silence is built around what she might be thinking, you are still not free. A free man does not need to know every movement in her mind. A free man does not need proof that she misses him. A free man does not need her regret to feel valuable. A free man says, if she returns with clarity and respect, I will listen. If she does not, I will keep walking. That is power because maybe she comes back, maybe she does not, maybe she misses you, maybe she is distracting herself, maybe she is too proud, maybe she is truly done, maybe she is confused, maybe she is waiting, maybe she is with someone else. You do not know, and because you do not know, you must not build your life around guesses. A weak man sees uncertainty and chases. A strong man sees uncertainty and returns to his standards. That is the difference. Now, the biggest mistake a man makes in this stage is checking. He tells himself he is in control because he is not texting her. But every night he checks. He checks her stories. He checks who liked her post. He checks if she followed someone new. He checks if she is online. He checks if she watched his story. He checks if she looks happy. He checks captions. He checks timing. He checks signs. He checks until his mind is exhausted. And what does he get? Not peace. More pain. Checking does not heal you. It feeds the wound. You think you are looking for information, but most of the time you are looking for emotional proof. Proof that she misses you. Proof that she is moving on. Proof that she is suffering. Proof that she is happy. Proof that you still matter. Either way, you are still making her life the center of your emotional world. That is hidden chasing. You may not be chasing with messages, but you are chasing with attention, and attention is energy. Where your attention goes, your power follows. If your attention is on her profile, her mood, her new followers, her possible regret, her possible comeback, her possible feelings, then your power is still sitting in her world. Take it back. Your body needs you. Your work needs you. Your money needs you. Your sleep needs you. Your discipline needs you. Your faith needs you. Your future needs you. Stop giving your strongest energy to someone who is giving you uncertainty. That is not hate. That is self respect. Now, let us talk about the late night moment because this is where most men break. During the day, you may feel strong. You can work. You can train. You can stay busy. You can tell yourself, I am done. I am not chasing. I am moving on. Then the night comes. The room gets quiet. Your phone is close. The memories come back. You remember the warm version of her, the way she used to talk, the way she once made you feel wanted, the private moments, the laughs, the plans, the softness, the way she looked at you before everything changed. Then the cold version comes back too. The distance, the short replies, the silence, the way she made you feel like you were asking for too much when all you wanted was basic effort. And suddenly your mind starts negotiating. Maybe I should text her. Maybe she is waiting for me. Maybe she thinks I do not care. Maybe she is planning to come back but needs one sign. Maybe if I stay silent too long, she will move on forever. Maybe I should just say one small thing. But be honest, most of the time, you do not want to text because it is wise. You want to text because you want relief from anxiety, relief from uncertainty, relief from the fear that she is gone, relief from the feeling that you no longer matter. That is where a man must lead himself. A strong man tells himself the truth before he acts. He says, I want to text because I am scared. Then he does not send from fear. He puts the phone down. He walks. He trains. He writes the message in notes but does not send it. He prays if faith is part of his life. He sleeps. He lets the emotional wave rise and fall without obeying it. Pain can be felt without being followed. You can miss her and still not text. You can care and still not chase. You can feel rejected and still not beg. You can want answers and still not reopen the wound. That is emotional control. And emotional control is what makes your silence powerful. Not because it controls her, because it finally gives you control over yourself. If one lonely night can make you break your own promise, your silence was not self respect yet. It was delayed reaction. If one story can ruin your entire mood, she still controls your peace. If one soft signal can make you forget your standards, then you are not healing. You are waiting. That is why the real work is deeper than no contact. You are not just staying away from her. You are breaking the addiction to needing her reaction. You are breaking the habit of turning every emotion into a message. You are breaking the pattern of making one woman's attention the proof of your worth. That is what changes you. Now, if she is secretly planning her comeback, she may test the door first. She may not come back with a full apology. She may not start with a serious conversation. She may not say, I made a mistake. She may send something small, something casual, something vague. Hey, hope you're good. You've been quiet. I saw something that reminded me of you. Do you still hate me? That is not always a full return. Sometimes it is a test. Sometimes it is curiosity. Sometimes it is guilt. Sometimes it is loneliness. Sometimes it is nostalgia. Sometimes it is her checking whether the old version of you is still waiting. And this is where you must be calm. A small message is not a full comeback. A hey is not accountability. And I miss you is not change behavior. A late night text is not emotional maturity. A story view is not love. A woman touching the door is not the same as a woman walking through it with clarity. Remember that if she says, hey, you can say, hey, hope you're doing well. That is enough. If she says, I miss you, you can say, I hear you. What made you reach out? If she says, I've been thinking about us, you can say, I understand. What do you want to do with that? If she says, can we talk? You can say, we can talk, but I am not rushing back into anything. These are not games. They are calm boundaries. They show openness without desperation. They invite clarity without begging. They protect your peace without attacking her. A real return can handle patience. A fake return usually cannot. If she genuinely wants to reconnect, she will respect your pace. If she only wants emotional access, she may disappear when she realizes you are not easy anymore. Let that happen. You need truth more than temporary comfort because temporary comfort can pull you back into the same cycle that broke you. Truth sets you free. Now, if she is planning a comeback because she misses the attention, that will reveal itself. She will want warmth without accountability. She will want comfort without clarity. She will want your emotional availability without changing the behavior that made you step back. She will say just enough to open the door, but not enough to rebuild trust. Do not fall for that. If she wants your full presence, she must bring full clarity. If she wants emotional access, she must respect your peace. If she wants repair, she must be willing to talk honestly. If she wants a mature connection, she must meet you with maturity. You are not emotional backup. You are not the man she texts when loneliness gets loud. You are not the safe place she returns to only when the exciting option disappoints her. You are not a spare room in someone else's confusion. A man with standards does not accept relationship level emotional labor from someone giving casual level effort. That line matters. A man with standards does not accept relationship level emotional labor from someone giving casual level effort. Now, the middle of this process requires a clear reset. For the next 7 days, do not message her first from panic. Do not check her stories. Do not ask mutual friends about her. Do not post to get her attention. Do not make emotional decisions at night. Do not reread old messages until your chest hurts. Do not send a soft message when what you really want is reassurance. Put that energy into training, work, money, sleep, discipline, faith, emotional control, and rebuilding your identity. Train your body even when your mind is heavy. Clean your space even when your emotions feel messy. Fix your sleep because tired men make weak decisions. Eat properly because heartbreak drains your focus. Walk when anxiety hits. Write what you want to say, but do not send it from panic. Put your phone away before midnight. Build your day before your emotions build it for you. This is not about pretending you do not care. It is about proving that her silence does not own you. Every time you do not chase, you rebuild self trust. Every time you do not check, you rebuild control. Every time you do not ask about her, you rebuild dignity. Every time you keep your routine while hurting, you become stronger. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. You said you would not chase. Do not chase. You said you would not beg. Do not beg. You said you would not abandon your standards. Do not abandon them. That is how a man becomes solid. And a solid man is not easily pulled back into chaos. Now, rebuilding your life is not optional. If you stay silent but do nothing, your mind will circle her all day. You will imagine, you will compare, you will wait, you will create stories, you will start believing every fearful thought your mind produces. That is why you need motion. Motion is medicine. Train your body, not so she notices, but so you remember your strength. Build your money, not so she regrets leaving, but so your future has options. Fix your sleep, not because it sounds motivational, but because tired men make emotional decisions. Work on your discipline, not to impress her, but because your emotions cannot be trusted to lead every choice. Deepen your faith or inner grounding, not to perform peace, but to actually find it. This is how heartbreak becomes useful. Pain without discipline becomes bitterness. Pain with discipline becomes power. Use the pain correctly. Do not use it to stalk. Use it to train. Do not use it to compare. Use it to build. Do not use it to beg. Use it to become steady. Do not use it to hate women. Use it to raise your standards. That is transformation. Now, if she is secretly planning her comeback, she may also be watching whether you are still the same man. Not always directly. Not always, obviously. But she may notice your energy. She may notice you stop reacting. She may notice you stop posting for attention. She may notice you are not asking about her. She may notice that the old emotional access is gone. And if she reaches out, your response will reveal everything. Did you actually grow? Or were you waiting? Did you actually build self respect? Or were you counting days? Did you actually become grounded? Or were you secretly starving? The first response tells the truth. That is why you must not reply from hunger. You reply from calm, not cold calm, warm enough to be mature, clear enough to protect yourself, short enough to avoid overinvesting, strong enough to show you are not the same man who begged for clarity. That is the energy. Now, if she says, you changed, do not become defensive. You can say, I had to. The old version of me kept losing himself. If she says, you do not care anymore, you can say, I care, but I am not chasing confusion anymore. If she says, so you just gave up, you can say, I stepped back because I needed peace. That is enough. Do not over explain. Do not defend your growth for an hour. Do not let guilt drag you back into a place your self respect already left. A man with a center speaks clearly, then watches behavior, because behavior gives you information. If she respects your boundary, that is information. If she mocks it, that is information. If she takes accountability, that is information. If she only wants access without responsibility, that is information. Do not fear information. Fear ignoring it because fantasy feels better. Now, if she comes back with real maturity, do not punish her. This is important. Some men finally get attention back, then become arrogant. They act cold. They try to make her feel small. They say things like, now you want me? They use silence as a weapon because they are still hurt. That is not strength. That is pain pretending to be power. A strong man does not need revenge to feel masculine. If she comes with clarity, listen. If she comes with humility, observe. If she comes with consistent effort, allow trust to build slowly. but do not rush. Forgiveness can happen in a moment. Trust takes time. Do not confuse the two. If she apologizes, receive it calmly, but watch behavior. If she says she misses you, hear it, but watch consistency. If she wants to talk, talk, but do not throw away your peace. That is how a mature man moves. Now, if she comes back with confusion, step back. If she says, I miss you, but I do not know what I want, do not become her emotional waiting room. If she says, I care, but I am not ready, do not give full access to uncertainty. If she reaches out at night but disappears in the morning, do not chase. If she wants comfort without responsibility, step back. A man with self-respect does not build his peace on maybe. Maybe can have space, maybe can have observation, maybe does not get your whole heart. That is how you protect yourself. Now let us talk about the hard truth. Maybe she is not planning a comeback. Maybe your mind wants to believe that because it feels better than accepting uncertainty. Maybe the title pulled you in because a part of you needed hope. And hope is not wrong. But hope without self-respect becomes a trap. Hope can keep you from healing. Hope can keep you checking. Hope can keep you waiting. Hope can make you ignore reality. Hope can make you accept crumbs because you think they are signs. So you need the right kind of hope, not hope that says she will definitely come back. Hope that says whatever happens, I can become stronger. Not hope that says she will regret losing me. Hope that says I will never abandon myself like that again. Not hope that says her return will fix me. Hope that says I am rebuilding whether she returns or not. That is healthy hope because if your peace depends on her coming back, she still owns your peace. If your confidence depends on her apology, she still owns your confidence. If your value depends on her choosing you again, she still owns your value. That is too much power to give one person. A free man does not need revenge, he needs direction. A free man does not say, I hope she suffers. He says, I hope I never lose myself like that again. That is the higher path. A weak man turns heartbreak into bitterness. A strong man turns heartbreak into standards. A weak man asks, is she coming back? A strong man asks, am I becoming someone worth returning to? And someone strong enough to keep walking if she does not? That is the question, because the highest proof is not her return. The highest proof is your peace. Can you sleep without her reply? Can you train without needing her to notice? Can you work without checking your phone every 10 minutes? Can you stop asking about her? Can you feel sadness without turning it into begging? Can you remember her without reopening the wound? Can you love deeply without losing your frame? That is success because a man who can do that is no longer easy to break. He is harder to manipulate, harder to pull into chaos, harder to make insecure, harder to treat like an option, harder to replace with temporary attention. That man is attractive because he is not desperate for attraction. He has direction. And direction is one of the strongest things a man can have. A man with direction does not orbit around a woman's uncertainty. He has things to build. He has a body to strengthen. He has money to earn. He has skills to sharpen. He has faith to deepen. He has standards to protect. He has a future that does not pause because one person became unclear. That is real masculine power. Not forcing her to miss you, not making her regret, not playing games. Becoming the man who no longer has to beg anyone to see his worth. Now, ask yourself something honest. Do you want her back because she is good for your peace? Or do you want her back because being chosen again would repair the wound of rejection? Do you miss her character? Or do you miss the version of yourself you felt like when she wanted you? Do you want a healthy relationship or do you want proof that you were enough? These questions matter because sometimes a man does not want the woman back. He wants the rejection reversed. He wants the silence to end. He wants the pain to stop. He wants one message to prove he still matters. But that is not love. That is the wound asking for validation. Real love cannot grow where self respect is missing. If she comes back with clarity and respect, listen. If she comes back with confusion, step back. If she never comes back, keep walking. Because the goal is not to be chosen by someone who left. The goal is to become a man who never abandons himself when someone leaves. That is the real transformation. Now, tonight, when your mind tells you it is over forever, do not let that sentence destroy you. Maybe it is over, maybe it is not. Maybe she is planning something, maybe she is not. Maybe time will reveal something you cannot see right now. But your job is not to predict the future from pain. Your job is to protect your dignity in the present. Do not text from panic. Do not check from pain. Do not beg for reassurance. Do not chase a woman who is choosing distance. Do not turn her silence into your identity. Put the phone down, stand up, drink water, walk, train, pray, work, sleep, build. Do one thing that makes tomorrow better, because discipline is how a man tells heartbreak, you can hurt me, but you cannot lead me. That is the man she may not expect. Not the man who begged, not the man who folded. Not the man who stalked her life because he feared she forgot him. The man who hurt but stayed composed. The man who cared but did not abandon himself. The man who wanted her but did not make her comeback the measure of his worth. The man who turned uncertainty into discipline, silence into standards, and loss into direction. That man is hard to manipulate. That man is hard to replace. That man is free. So remember this: before you think it is over, understand that fear is not always truth. Her silence is not your identity. Her distance is not your worth. Her absence is not permission to lose yourself. Maybe she is secretly planning her comeback. Maybe she is not. But either way, you cannot keep living like your life is paused until she decides. Take your energy back. Build your body. Build your mind. Build your money. Build your peace. Build your discipline. Build your direction. Become a man whose self respect is stronger than his fear of being forgotten. Because the deepest truth is this: the goal is not to sit around waiting for her comeback. The goal is to become so grounded that if she comes back, you do not lose yourself. And if she never comes back, you still keep walking like a man who chose his own life.